So, boys and girls, today we are going to learn a little bit about geometry. Now, as you guys know from your homework every night, sometimes you get geometry problems. And as you remember, we did a little, what we call pre-assessment, where you guys remember this? Where we all did this on two sides? We're going to do something similar to that, but first we're going to learn a little bit about one of the goals for you guys as second graders is to make sure that you can read this statement. Someone want to give me a hand? Go ahead, Alea. Loud. Inner voice, really loud. Separate.
A rectangle into 2, 3, and 4 equal parts using the words halves, thirds, and fourths.
So equal parts is underlined because a very important part of geometry when we talk about shapes, especially when we talk about halves, thirds, and fourths, is equal parts. So that's Morgan, that's a big deal. That's something we want to pay attention to. So today we're going to have fun learning about this by using our geo boards. But before that, I want to show you guys how much fun geometry can be in real life. So Mr. Bradford was on a game show, on TV, in real life. And you guys are about to see it. You guys want to see it?
Yeah.
You want to see it? Alright.
We need to turn the volume down. Raise your hand if you're talking, right now.
That's Mr. Bradford when he was just a young boy.
Raise your hand if you're talking right now.
So this is a game show called, anybody know? It's called The Price is Right. And in this beginning part, they show you an object like that, and you bid on it. And if you win, if you guess closest to how much it costs in real life, you get to come on stage and play a game. I didn't get to come on, so I'm not going to show you the end because it's kind of disappointing. But one of the best games that they have on The Price is Right is a game called Plinko. And we're going to play Geo Plinko today. So I want to show you what Plinko is, okay? I want to go to about... Okay, so this is what Plinko is. So this looks just like one of your Geo boards. What they're going to do is drop a circle into there, and it bounces around, and it bounces around, and bounces around, and then, oh, where's it going to land, where's it going to land? Up! So he was the big winner. So what we're going to do today is we're going to play Geo Plinko. So I have a little Plinko board that I have set up. I made this. We're all going to get to play, but first, what I want to show you guys is the lesson. That I can separate a rectangle into 2, 3, and 4 equal parts. Remember, equal is important, that the parts have to be equal. And we're going to use the word halves, thirds, and fourths. So if you guys, boys and girls, if you pay attention, please. I know it's distracting, but we're a small group here. So there are 2 rectangles here. This is a rectangle and this is a rectangle, right? So I want to separate, first I want to separate into halves. And what's important about halves? What do the 2 halves have to be?
Equal.
So does that look like they're 2 equal halves? Okay. So now I want to separate this triangle into thirds. So how many parts do you think thirds are going to have? 3 parts. So there. Now this rectangle, now this rectangle is in 3 equal parts. Okay? Now the last thing was, what else are we going to learn about? Halves, thirds, and fourths. So we're going to separate this rectangle into fourths. So you see how we did that just with rubber bands. So just with a couple rubber bands. So underneath your chairs, you're going to find a geo board of your own, and they're already separated into 2 rectangles. So maybe we can step back a little bit. Morgan, push your chair back a little bit. Shamara, push your chair back a little bit. Vaughn, you're fine. Layla, just a little bit. Okay, so here's the deal. I just showed you guys how to separate using rubber bands. We're not going to do it yet, okay? Not going to do it just yet. What we're going to do is we're going to play Plinko to see what you remember how we played Plinko on the video and he landed right in the middle and he got 10,000. So you guys are going to put your Plinko chip. We're not playing with them just yet. So actually put your board down underneath your chair. Now I'm going to show you how to do this, okay? You have to press just gently, so you have to make sure, I'll hold it for you. You have to make sure it's pressed flat against the wall, just like this, flat against the wall. And just let it drop. Up, so that's fourths, right? So I would have to separate my geo board into fourths. So Layla, why don't you go first? She got fourths. So, Alayla's going to separate her board into fourths. And we're all going to watch and see if we agree.
You ready to share?
Yeah.
Okay.
I only did chapter 1, but it still has all the words in it.
Sonia.
Wait, we did chapter 1, but it still has all the words.
Mommy.
Show us your board. Okay, so who agrees that that's into fourths? Smart, you agree? And what's a big thing about fourths? What do the parts have to be? Equal parts, right? Okay, so Morgan, it's your turn. You can take, not the big rectangle yet. So Morgan's going, go ahead, drop it. So she got thirds. So Morgan, you're going to use the bottom rectangle, just like I modeled. And I want you to separate the bottom into thirds. And we're all going to watch and see if Morgan got this into thirds. Watch, she would use one rubber band. Look at that. So Shamar, do you think that that's into thirds? Why do you think so? How many parts does it have now?
I think it's only one.
Well, here's our rectangle, right? And she just put that rubber band in there. So now how many parts are in there? 3. And do they look different size, or do they look like they're the same size?
Same size.
So that's equal. So now she has 3 equal parts. So she did it right. So Vaughn, come up here and take your turn.
One day I was walking home from the pub.
There you go. All right, thirds. Actually, that we'll split half. So Vaughn, you're going to show us on the large rectangle. Show us on our large rectangle, and we're going to do halves now. We're going to look and watch if Vaughn can separate this rectangle into halves.
Because the poke was on the other side of the leg. When I got there,
Okay, show us your board.
I went down the slide.
Do we agree that that's halves? How many parts did you have, Morgan?
It has 2.
And what's important about those 2 parts?
They're equal.
Equal parts, that's right. Shamar, it's your turn. So as soon as Shamar goes, we're going to have one up. So,
where did I land? The answer is under cloud.
just remember to put it flat against the top. Okay. Fourths. Okay, so Shamar got fourths. So we're going to use your board, Shamar. You're going to use your rubber bands. We're going to, Morgan, we're going to separate this top rectangle into fourths, okay? So remember what fourths are, and what size the parts need to be, and how many there need to be, and we're going to see if Shamar got it into fourths, okay? And right after this, we have another little fun thing to do right after.
It was the same learning that I had. It was an OIP tombstone.
All right.
I remember that my
So,
uncle
look at
had
that.
gone to the post
Let's take a
and
look.
never came back home.
This is Shamar's board, Morgan. What do you think? Do you think he got separated into fourths? What do you think, Vaughn?
Yeah.
How come? How many parts are there?
4.
And what about that?
They're equal.
4 equal parts. Great. Well, I want to thank you guys for playing this. And just so that we follow up and make sure, we're going to go back to our desks and we're going to put our boards underneath our chairs. Please, now, put our boards under our chairs. Thank you, Layla. Here you go. So I want you guys to put your name on the top and use your pencil. And it should just be real quickly. And it's basically to make sure that I know that you guys were following along with the lesson. So now we can say confidently, what can we say? It's a race. That you can separate.
Fourths. I can separate rectangles into 2, 3, and 4 equal parts using the words halves, thirds, and fourths.
Okay, so please go back to your desks and using a pencil, fill that out now. Fill that out. Yep, I'll collect them afterwards. Thank you.
Make a star red.